Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. It is December 9th, 2025, and we'll check right in and get us a message. Hope you're all doing well. All right. Storyline for the collective, please, Spirit. Storyline for the collective. Storyline for the collective, please, Spirit. Storyline for the collective. What's going on in the planetary realm? Storyline for the collective, please, Spirit. Storyline for the collective. Thank you. Eight of Pentacles and Seven of Pentacles. You are working hard. Emperor, Queen of Wands. Working real hard. Alrighty then, in the central energy for the collective, planetary situation, what's happening, Spirit? What's going on, please? Storyline for the collective, storyline for the collective. We've got the Star. The Star is born, the Star is here. Healing, rejuvenation, a miraculous recovery. In the challenge position, the Nine of Pentacles. Coming into the fruits of your labor, the life of luxury that somebody is wanting real bad. In the subconscious, Five of Wands. Yeah, somebody's wanting it real bad. Somebody wants to fight the Star for their Nine of Pentacles. They don't want to go out and earn it. They just want to take yours. It's weird. It's like a rivalry, but it's not a rivalry. They didn't develop or produce anything to be a rival. There's no competition. It's straight up theft and brutality. In the recent past, the Five of Pentacles. So somebody has lost everything. They've been defeated. They're not entitled to your Nine of Pentacles. They simply aren't. They want it. Intentions, expectations. Tower. There's a Tower. We're going to see some stuff. Now, Divine Mother in one of her aspects stated that this winter there was going to be a what did she say? A significant decline or something like that. I took that to mean population. Take it as it resonates. In the near future, Ace of Pentacles, abundant opportunity. The lens it's being looked through. Seven of Pentacles. It's your reward. For persevering through this nightmare of a freaking brutalization against you, somebody trying to steal your eternal happiness, trying to snuff out your light so that they could steal your Nine of Pentacles. In the environment, okay, Seven of Swords. So in the environment, we've got trickery and fraud, betrayal, Hopes and fears. What's their hope and fear, please? The Chariot. They want your Chariot. They could be afraid that you're leaving. They want to be in your Chariot. They didn't become anything. All they did was develop script and then play a role, cast a big illusion over the minds of the people. What's the outgoing energy, please, Spirit? The Sun. There's a rebirth here. The Queen of Swords knows the truth about the magician, about the sorcery, over the minds of the people, over this trickery. Yep. Ace of Swords is the mental clarity regarding this inheritance. So the truth. You're getting the inheritance. And Four of Wands here. Freedom and marriage. There is judgment being called on these ones who are fighting you for your light, for your life, for your opportunity to live, because they wanted your inheritance. So now their judgment is that they're in a Four of Pentacles, and they're going to be bound and restricted from these Ten of Cups unions, because Divine Masculine, King of Swords, knows the truth about who is coming and who is going and who is present here. And that's the completion of a cycle. What's that? Yep, because anybody coming in wanting to negotiate some kind of a contract, there could be a barring, like like the doors are closed, no more entry. Somebody coming in trying to seek a contract, because we're working here with high standards, planning for the future. And we've got Divine Feminine is here. We've got the Devil here is, they are dependent, codependent on your love. But the King of Wands is here, turning the wheel and delivering justice, the law of cause and effect, and leaving the devil behind. They're having a nightmare, and they're coming in. Maybe they're just having a nightmare because you are getting the proper Knight of Cups connection here, and the inheritance. Queen of Pentacles is right here. Queen of Pentacles might be disconnecting whoever it is that's trying to snuff out your light and steal your reward and your identity, which leads to public recognition. There's something coming up very quickly, some kind of news. Somebody's afraid of that. They're in fear over this Hierophant. Ew. New rules for love. Well, no more false contracts. No more coming into somebody's dream space and then giving them a freaking masturbation dream and having some weird false marriage contract in the freaking 4D. And you tap into their spiritual inheritance and you never show up. You never even come to the 3D to introduce yourself. That's just lame. That ain't no man. That's a villain and a thief. That ain't no God. That's a freaking devil. A lecher. A leech. So we've got the star here. Bling, bling, you are shining brightly. Miraculous recovery. Everything you touch turns to gold. Miraculous healer. Miraculous healer. The hidden truth. The hidden truth. You're shining a light here. The tip of the iceberg. Something is very big. You're shining a light on the hidden truth. Challenge. Coming into the fruits of your labor, because you got some jackwagon here wanting to steal it from you, and maybe that's what the light you're shining on. So this person trying to steal your treasure, your light, your life, your opportunity to be alive. They wanted to red rum you and steal your inheritance. So you're shining a bright light on the hidden things. So you've got the Nine of Pentacles here. Life of luxury. Your dream is going to come true. You've shined a light on the tip of the iceberg. The hidden things is treasure. You are the treasure. You found the treasure. Five of Cups. The thing is that somebody's out here wanting to stop you. They want your treasure. It's not a competition. It just isn't, because they're not competing for anything. They haven't developed anything, grew anything, worked on anything. The only thing they've done is try to develop more and more advanced ways to steal things from people and cast illusions over the mind of people. They haven't actually become anything except maybe a better thief. Reconcile. Reconcile. So you've shined a light on the hidden truth about this rivalry. And there is a reconciliation, an understanding. So you're coming into the right union here. Somebody's losing everything. Five of Pentacles. Commitment. Somebody is experiencing a Five of Pentacles. They've been defeated by your commitment. Or by whatever commitment they made. They're insecure about your commitment. They're in worry. Experiencing lack due to your commitment. Somebody's in a tower. Somebody's in a tower. Single, isolated, alone. They may have to be, maybe they're in a tower. They're single, they're alone. They're going to have to be single. They can't rely on anybody. Single and alone, independent. They got to go walk the walk alone without anybody to support them now, like you did. Ace of Pentacles, you could be coming into a new job. Trash. Waste, worthless, mouse, abundance. The cycle is about to begin anew for trash. Well, I don't know. We're going to have to get more clarification on that. We've got the Seven of Pentacles right here. Perseverance, reward. Rose, passionate love. Rose, you've been working real hard. There's perseverance for the rose. The sacrifice lives. There's a reward for the rose. There's a reward for those who were sacrificed by these bullies here, trying to take over your territory and your life of luxury. We've got Seven of Swords in the environment. So there's trickery and fraud in the environment. Deception, betrayal, the law. They're dealing with the law. The scales are being balanced. We've got the Chariot here, a victory. You're victorious. They're concerned because you are victorious. You're leaving. You're in your chariot. You're leaving. You're getting a new beginning. They have to deal with the law. These tricksters, these fraudsters, they're dealing with the law right now. There's police and a judge. We've got the sun here on the outgoing energy. What's going on with the sun? Apple. So there's a rebirth for the apple. They were not supposed to eat of God's family tree. And, you know, the replacement woman, the clone made from Adam's rib, you know, the clone of himself as a female. Yeah, so anyway, the apple that they ate, she's getting a new beginning. Wisdom. Brought forward all kinds of wisdom, the hidden truth of what had been, these people had been consuming, the stars, the forbidden fruit, and then dressing up as a copycat and entering into the realms and the timelines and the higher dimensional spaces that they had not earned the right to be in. They're running away. They're running away because they're being released because of these toxic attachments and these toxic ways. Alcohol, drug addictions. This clown wants revenge. They miss you. So use your intuition. You've got transformation and newborn. You've got your intuition. You got this transformation here. And it could be a pet. Animal friend. And mystery. A mystery pet is gonna cool down some seriousness. Maybe there's gonna be a pause. There's gonna be a pause, perhaps, in these animal friends causing illusions. I mean, it could be a pause, and there could be like a pause in the taboo, the forbidden love between the snake and the star. There's a whole bunch of messages here. There could be their communication records from an old friend, a forgotten person, meeting by chance. There might be something to chew on. You might be getting a message. You might get some kind of a telepathic message. And we've got independent. There's a code word. There could be a code word. Encounter, chew, deep thinking, remember, love at first sight, meet by chance. So there could be some kind of a code word that will let your 3D self or your soul know when you meet up with your person. So we've got street, exhibit, independent. It could be that they were using you, like the Earth Woman was the Lifetime story, this soap opera that these abusers were broadcasting throughout the galaxy. You're very independent. You're the white rose. You're the purity that they had been taking advantage of. And now there's a breakup with this uninvited guest. They were not supposed to be here, but they got rid of you. And then they took over the planetary gate keeper position. And they let in all of this scum, all this riff-raff. So we've got personality and talent here. Some kind of features that were perhaps hidden, coming forward in divine timing. Yeah. Somebody, there's torment, this bondage. You know, you kept making a wish and taking a leap of faith. And divine intervention is here regarding these mirrors. Drinking from your cup, drinking from your soul. Yep, the sun is going to set on that. because there's evidence and you've ascended looking for stuff. People are in eternal regret because you're going home. Or maybe because they brought a mistress home or whatever. They decided that it was better to be unfaithful, to break your heart, to flaunt their girlfriend or boyfriend in front of your face. So we got the star here. You're shining a light so brightly on the hidden truth. And this is in the water. This is in the water. Hidden truth in the water. You know, a long time ago, I used to have dreams of living in the water. And it could be that I am from a time frame that has been buried under the sea. It could be. You're shining a light on the hidden truth. It's been happening a long time. Yep, and now there's a honeymoon. Now there's a honeymoon. We're in the new beginning. You shined a light so brightly on the hidden truth, and now you're getting a new beginning. A wedding. 9 of Pentacles, a life of luxury, a dream come true, a miracle. Fire sign. A miracle. You're going to get what you want. You're going to have a life of luxury. You know, you may not have to go to work anymore. You could just get up whenever you want to get up, have your coffee, go to the gym, work out for a few hours, listening to your iPod or whatever. I don't know. Go do what you want to do. Develop a new routine. What's going to happen if you don't have to punch a clock for the 9 to 5? I don't know. But you're getting a new phase. There's a honeymoon. There's a reconciliation because you shined a light on the hidden truth, these secret things that people were abusing you, hurting you, trying to keep you under this conflict. So there's reconciliation, repair. Somehow you've been able to repair this connection, mend this bridge. There's an understanding, and you're going to get a kiss. You're going to get a kiss. There's going to be a kiss. You're going to get a kiss. You're going to get a kiss. We got health. Health issues could arise. Oh no. Well, we're going to get more clarification on that. Somebody's in a 5 of Pentacles, a defeat due to your commitment, your oath, your pledge, your promise. They came up against you. They tried to steal your stuff, man, and they've been defeated by your commitment. Because you didn't let go. Neither of you let go. You didn't let go of each other. You know, and in the, I kept seeing, like, the masculine, you know, he's royalty. And he, these other men in these antagonistic, you know, they want everybody to say and do and behave as they want them to. So they kept going to this masculine, presenting him with these beautiful, queenly looking women. I mean, just absolutely beautiful, royalty looking, you know, except that the inside, it was just like a hollow shell that was made up to be pretty, you know. So fortunately, he did not go for it. He's committed and loyal to you. He did not let go of you. And these people are in a tower, 5 of Pentacles, and they're isolated. They could be alone. They're going through a tower alone because you did not let go. You did not let go of him, and he did not let go of you. But we got health issues could arise because you're reconciled. What's going on? We got single, independent, alone, and Mercury retrograde. So they're in a tower, and they're alone, and they're going back. Maybe you being single, they have to go back to being single. Somebody's in a 5 of Pentacles, they have to go back to being single. They're in a tower, they're in the middle of chaos, they're in isolation, they're alone. Everything that they did is going back. All of their magic is going back. They cursed you with a 5 of Pentacles, trying to get your 9 of Pentacles. And you're getting the miracle, fire sign. So you've got this Ace of Pentacles here, a manifestation of abundance. And then we've got trash, waste, worthless, mouse. What's going on here, Spirit? So we got a tower, alone, isolated, Mercury retrograde. So they're in a tower. Everything they did by themselves, everything that they did in order to keep you single is going back on them. So they're losing the money. They're in a 5 of Pentacles, and they're going to be single because your person did not let you go. He trusted you. She trusted you. You stuck together. Ace of Pentacles. Move on. So you got the Ace of Pentacles here, abundance, a new career, financial opportunity, and this trash is told that it's a waste of time, you're not available, move on. You've got your Ace of Pentacles here, and you don't want anything to do with these people. It's like, move on, man. So we got the 7 of Pentacles. You persevered. You persevered. The rose. The rose typically stands for the sacrifice, right? So we've got perseverance and rewards coming for the rose. There's going to be a passionate love. A passionate love. Reconciled. Committed. They won't let go. Water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. The 7 of Swords, those who betrayed you, who were trying to tell lies on you and steal from you, commit trickery and fraud, they're in there with the law right now. They're visiting their lawyer. They're speaking to the judge. The police might be going to arrest them. The police are involved. The scales are being balanced. Someone else. For all of those interferences in loyal, faithful unions, they're under arrest for sabotaging people when it comes to their union and their family trees and all of that they were trying to build in the world. You're in your chariot. It's time for you to rest. You're getting a new beginning. You're victorious. You're getting a new beginning. You're getting a new beginning. And we've got date night. No, now's not the right time. So we're getting a new beginning. It's time to rest. You're in your chariot. You're victorious. It's time to rest. And no, it's not the right time for date night. We have a sun here. So there's no date night. You're not dating anybody. You're already in union. I wonder when that'll happen. It's going to happen eventually. We got the sun here and the apple. So there's a rebirth for the apple. There's a rebirth for the rose. There's a rebirth for this beautiful star that had been being sacrificed over and over and over again so that these copycats could assume the identity and the wealth. It's coming to an end. There's a rebirth for the apple, the rebirth for the family tree of the Most High God. Divorce. Yep. Because because you're divorcing the narcissist. Because you're divorcing the narcissist. You're letting them go. These third party, cornholios, you don't have to deal with them anymore. You're going to use, so just a few more months before you decide to open your heart. Right now, you're just resting. There's no, it's not the right time for date night. You're still waiting, like spring, I think, like a few more months. Spring, literally. Because this old cycle is coming to an end and the new one is beginning. So, and there's a lot of desperation coming over the live wire, regarding these masculines needing a relationship. And now they know they can't get one, so they're actually considering doing a 3D messy thing in order to force it. These are narcissists. They don't give a crap about the feminine. They just want that light and that 9 of Pentacles. They really want each other. But they got to have that light and that 9 of Pentacles. And they got to have this woman here to kind of pull it all in and pretend to be you so that those two masculines can go over there and spend all that money and just give her a few little coins or whatever. A pretty little face. Okay, you can sit in this place of authority, but we own you and we get to say whatever you get to say, whatever. I don't know. You're the star. You've experienced a miraculous rebirth. You're shining a light on the hidden truth. The hidden truth. You have revealed the tip of the iceberg and the hidden truth beneath it. Everything that was buried. You're getting there's a honeymoon here. Okay, did you see that? That came out and it flipped into the reverse. So you're getting a honeymoon and an end of your hardship. This is an end of your hardship. You have shined a light on the hidden things. You're getting a honeymoon and this is the end of your hardship. 9 of Pentacles is yours, a life of luxury. This is a dream come true. You're going to get what you want, fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You worked very hard. You suffered a lot with this conflict. So you're going to get a 9 of Pentacles and your dream is going to come true. You're going to get what you want, fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, because they were puppeting you, driving you into this conflict. They wasted your time by constantly attacking you and forcing you to go on the defensive when all you wanted to do was produce something good and beneficial for your life and for your surroundings, your household, your community, whatever. And these people kept driving you into conflict, wasting your damn life, wasting your time. With this, they kept driving you into it. They kept attacking you. And now you're reconciled because you've exposed the hidden truth. The hidden truth is they were ripping you apart, trying to destroy yours. Just the other day, I heard the curator, somebody asked the curator, you burned her? And he says, we burned her many times. So many of you have been burned at the stake for being a witch or a prophetess or an oracle or prophet or whatever. Many times, because you can see the evil deeds of these people and they needed to get rid of you so that they could continue puppeting people and stealing from them while smiling in their face and giving them health issues. Well, you are here reconciled. Your relationship or your union has been repaired because we got this. So there could be health issues for anyone who had been mimicking you, pretending to be you. They're probably going to have health issues. What else do we got here with the health? So you got understanding, reconciled, health issues could arise. What's going on? We've got, these kind of came out in reverse. So there's what? There's competition. We got important competition. So competition is no longer important. You're no longer going to be competing for your life, for who you are. Your competition is going to have a health issue. You are reconciled. It is very clear that they have been abusing you for a long, long time. So freaking, I'm so surprised that so many of us are still love, given everything that we've been driven into this and attacked. All we could do is basically just exist and try to be happy. We weren't really able to produce anything because we were in constant, we had to hold ourselves together and not become this unstable, freaking psycho that they wanted to turn us into. So 5 of Pentacles, somebody's been defeated because of your commitment to each other. You are reconciled and they're not letting go. You're not letting go of each other. You're very committed and you're not going to be dealing with this tribe anymore. You're not letting go of each other. You're not dealing with that tribe anymore. They're in a 5 of Pentacles. They're going down south. They're in a tower. And they're going to be isolated, or maybe they're in a tower because they left you alone and now they got to go back, or everything that they did to you, all those nasty things that they did to you while they kept you as single, alone, independent, isolated from the world. It's all going back to them, and they're going to have to deal with the 5 of Pentacles while they're alone, and nobody's going to help them. They're going to be sitting on the street with their little cup, and they're going to be getting ridiculed and spit upon and treated like crap because everybody's going to call them a beggar. They're going to get the treatment that they gave everybody. Everything that they did to you, they're in a tower. They got to go deal with this chaos alone. Everything they did to you to keep you alone is coming back on them. And you're getting an Ace of Pentacles. This trash, this worthless mouse, this little rat is leaving. They got to move on. You're not available. It's a waste of time. It's over. All the nasty stuff that they did to you to keep you single, to keep you two apart, is going back on them. And all those 5 of Pentacles curses that they did over your life is going back on them. This is the end of your hardship. Martyr. Move on. You're unavailable. Martyr. It's over. It's a waste of time. It's over. Martyr. Martyr. You're not available for martyring. They can't sacrifice you. Move on. Says the martyr. Says the sacrifice. They're not covered by the sacrifice. They're trash. Seven of Pentacles. You persevered, Rose. You persevered. Move on. This martyr is not available. It's a waste of time. It's over. They cannot sacrifice you because the Rose has persevered. You worked very, very hard, and you exposed the hidden truths about what they were doing here. We've got a water sign. You could have a passionate love with the water sign. One of you could be a fire sign, and one of you is a water sign. It appears to be. Whoops. So, coming into a reward, Rose, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, water sign, haunted. Well, there's a water sign who is being haunted. So one of you is an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius who's getting your dreams come true, a life of luxury, because these people kept attacking you, driving you into fight mode or defense mode or survival mode, haunting you. All that haunting is back on this water sign. So Seven of Swords, trickery and fraud, the madness never belonged to you. They were doing witchcraft, sorcery over your mental body, trying to get you to be seen as an insane person so that they could come up and smile fake in people's face with this poisonous dribble coming down. I don't know, whatever. So anyway, Seven of Swords, trickery and fraud. They're sitting here with the law, okay? The law, trickery and fraud. They were getting away with something. These third-party enemies who would gather up Jezebel to come in and then mimic you, while these two brojos would compete with you for a status of importance. They're not important. They're being disconnected. They're being disconnected. Jealousy in the biggest way. They don't get to work here anymore. We got Cornholio here turning these women into prostitutes and then convincing them that they're going to get some little reward as long as they could go, copycat you well enough. They can either be your copycat or they can be this sex magic, orgy person or whatever. You got the Chariot here. It's time you're victorious over this Cornholio situation. And it's time for you to get a new beginning. No, it's not the right time for date night. I mean, you're getting ready to be wined and dined, but now is not the right time. It's a few more months. There's a health issue arising for these men. They're Jezebel. They're being disconnected. Messenger. So no, it's not the right time for date night. We've got the Messenger here. For the Messenger, maybe you are the Messenger. The Sun, so there's a rebirth and all is well for the Apple. The Apple is divorcing this narcissist. It's like way back in the supposed beginning, Eve ate the apple. The apple was the original woman that Adam rejected in favor of a clone of himself in the female form. He took that as his wife and he thought, ooh, this is great. She's going to do whatever I want and I can go play Cornholio with my friends. So anyway, the apple is divorcing this narcissist. God has canceled that contract and we're getting a new beginning now. You've shined a light on the hidden truth. They tried to frame you with centuries of brutalizations and nastiness that they drove into you. All of that's going back on them. They burned you many times. They burned you alive because you were sacrilegious. So yeah, so you're divorcing the narcissist because they're just an overgrown child, horse playing around with everybody else's life, consume, refusing to settle down and be responsible. They're just out there, destroying everything. and consuming everybody else's lives, driving them into misery and conflict, and then convicting them of being that. Freaking jackwagons. You're getting a new, okay, so what? There's a pathway, there's a new pathway, or there is a pathway of religion. It could be that religion has got a new compass. You were innocent. You were innocent here. And so you're getting a promise. Religion is getting a new compass. There's a new pathway for this. You know, in this realm and in the previous cycle, it's like all the freaking wars were fought over stupid religion or borders or beliefs or... And, you know, it's like everybody wants to conquer every... You know, these men, they really got off. I didn't even know it until one came up into my energy and said, I conquered that one. Ew. Ew, man. You conquered that one? Phony freaking baloney going into the grave for driving people into misery and war. You know, you handled yourself perfectly. You have provided the perfect service. You have shined a light on the hidden truth of these vain witches and what they were doing to the shining one's home, the stars' home. They're afraid now. They're afraid. They may be getting a visitation. They may be looking for you so that they can try to come into your home. They may be trying to get covert, but they got their eye. Somebody's watching your spiritual throne. Observation. They got their eye on you and your purpose. You are as you are. It is as it is. You're just accepting things as you are. You're very conscientious, regardless of all the crap that they buried you in, the blame and the shame for all of their nastiness. You kept yourself there, okay? And we've got somebody with a perception, with the eye to see, has already stated this in prophecy. So you have objectivity. You're well-rounded and you are peaceful here. You can see very clearly. The entertainment industry is addicted to pretending to play a part of you. I think that's where they get a lot of their scripts from. These storylines, these movies, it's, you know, they steal the lives of people and then they write a thing about it and then they take on the persona, and it's not just on film. It's like in everyday life. This is a way of life for the entertainer. It seems to be. This is just a way of life. That it's not just on screen. They actually, I think, do this on their own free time, trying to harvest the star. I think that's why they get the star on the Hollywood boardwalk. It's a star. Like, I don't know, who did you sacrifice? Ooh, you sacrificed, I don't know, you get what? You make so many sacrifices, you get yourself a star? I don't know. It's not because your movie did so well, that's for sure. So the star is here, shining very, very brightly on the hidden truth, the secret things. You're getting a honeymoon, and this is the end of your hardship from those people who were doing forbidden things. They can no longer do the forbidden magic or forbidden feasting. They cannot curse you or your land or your business or anything in the future. They're done. Those forbidden things can no longer do this to you. It's forbidden for them to cause you any hardship. It's forbidden for them to cause you hardship. You're getting your 9 of Pentacles, life of luxury. I got a freaking hair in my eye. The heck? You know, maybe it's a curled eyelash or something. Anyway, 9 of Pentacles, life of luxury. You're going to have a wish come true, a dream come true, a miracle. You're going to get what you want. fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, because these ones kept driving you into conflict. They were puppeting you. It was forbidden. They were causing hardship in your life and constantly driving you into this conflict, and it was forbidden. They were doing that, and then they were deceitfully convicting and trapping others so because of this conflict, so that they could continue doing this cycle of eating you, your energy, harvesting you. Hunger. They were feeding on you and your energy of conflict. The low vibrational anger energy, you know, shame energy, self-loathing energy, the I'm not good enough energy, the nobody loves me energy, nobody wants to make me their wife, I'm not good, you know, it's like this weird thing. It's this weird thing, you know, it's like you go around, you know, in your life and you see people who are kind of like, you know, they're mean, and yet they seem to have all these supportive people in their life, and you're like looking at them like, what's wrong with me, man? I don't know, but they had it programmed that way. Apparently it's been centuries. I couldn't believe it. They actually burned you alive many times, according to this curator. I'm so surprised that the soul can still feel anything at all. The truth is out, the hidden truth about these ones constantly fighting with you, driving you into this conflict so that they could have the opportunity to deceitfully convict you of being in conflict all the time and then feeding on you. That's why they did it. So there is an understanding here and a reconciliation. There are health issues arriving for those who were hurting you. Those two men in that third party narcissistic fraud. Yeah, they're no longer, yeah, they're going to have some health issues. They're not seen as important. Unimportant, no competition. They're having health issues. They lost the competition. You don't see them as important. Somebody is pissed off. Some weird thing that nobody knows what it is. It's all twisted upside down, coming up out of the ice. They're like, whoa, what is it? Well, I don't know, but it's mad. It's mad because you lost the competition and now you're sick. Now you got to go be fodder for whatever this thing is that you've been serving. They're in a Five of Pentacles. They don't get your money. They don't get your life. They have been defeated because you are committed to each other. You've made a pledge. You're not letting go. This tribe, you're not dealing with this tribe. They're in South Node. They're flipped on their head. Well, this came out and they could be, if I kind of accidentally flipped it, so I'm going to take it in the upright and say that they're in shock. You're not letting go of each other. So you're not letting go of each other. It could be that you didn't have anything but each other and you didn't let go. Or it could be that somebody's been defeated because you refuse to let go of each other. You're very loyal to each other. You're not dealing with this tribe anymore. There's no more connection. The Most High God severed this connection. You have been emancipated from this collective. They're shocked. They can't get your person, your protector, to Judas you. And they can't get any of your friends or his friends or the warriors that are in the environment. They can't get nobody to Judas you. They're shocked. You're not dealing with them anymore. Nobody wants to deal with them anymore. You're not letting go of each other. You recognize the value. And the truth is that they were, it was awful what they were doing to you. So they're in a tower now for leaving you alone. And everything they did to you is going back on them. They're in a tower now for leaving you alone. Your new commitment, your new person that you have been reconciled with, like maybe in the past, these people did a thing. This has been a long, long time ago because they burned you many times. So you've gone through many, like MANY, life cycles where they brutally murdered you, horribly trying to destroy your soul so that they could feed on it. And it's happened to both of you. You may not have known it in the 3D, except that your life may have sucked, really, really bad. We got some homeless folks out there that are just phenomenal, warrior spirits. And this is why that they're out there suffering, because these ones didn't want any competition. We got neighbors. Neighbors are spying. So they're in a tower because they left you isolated, and everything they did to you is going back on them. Your person is not letting go. You are protected, and it's serious. They got to go deal with these neighbors. They're in a tower because they left you isolated, and everything they did to you is going back. We've got neighbors. Neighbors. This is really happening. This is no dream. There really is a plot afoot. They have to go. This is really happening. You're getting an Ace of Pentacles, and this trash, this mouse or rat or whatever, they're told to move on, that you, the martyr, are unavailable, or maybe they will be martyred. Look, you're the martyr of Earth. You're the martyr of Earth. You're the savior. You're the sacrifice. You're the purity. You're the one, the light that actually shined the light on the hidden truth. You are the martyr of Earth. You're the one who saved it. Whatever this is, you saved the earth by shining a light on the hidden truth. What they were doing to love. They were vampiring and brutalizing, genetically modifying, bringing, killing people, bringing them back to life, genetically doing twisty things to them. Yeah, you shined a light on it. You're the martyr of Earth. You have saved humanity with your love that you refuse to let go of. It's a waste of time. It's over. You're the martyr of Earth. You have shined a light on what they were doing to love. You have worked very hard. You persevered, Rose. You were the sacrifice that persevered, that continues to live. This water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, is being haunted. They curse themselves. They curse themselves. You survived the sacrifice, Rose. This water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, is being haunted. They cursed themselves because they martyred you, but you survived, which shined a light on the hidden truth. You were innocent, and all of this was a lie. So God gave you a new family, a protector. It could be that as deep as you went, you were able to pick up your person that had been buried there also. You've been reconciled. And they may have been doing things with your dressing up and your energy, and as you, blaming you for this, and your person may have been somewhere deep, deep, deep in a pit of hell, suffering, thinking that you were just up here partying, having a great time, and that just wasn't the case. So all of this is known. And these frauds, these tricksters are now with the lawyer, the judge, the police. These third-party enemies, these nasty cornholio jackos, are getting disconnected. They sabotage you. They sabotage themselves. They sabotage every freaking buddy. Looking for, yeah, they're being disconnected. They got to go back to the other side. They got the value of dead men. They're cornholio nasty jacks. They've been sabotaging others, putting them in the other side, and now they got to go to the other side, which is where they actually belong. They've been trading souls for the opportunity to be here and feed on you. It's so freaking nasty. We got the Chariot here, victory, and it's time for a new beginning. No to date night, because these guys are looking for date night. They're looking hard for date night. We got the Messenger here. No date night. It's not the right time for date night. We got a Messenger, but we've got grief. Like you're not in grief. The message is that you aren't grieving. You're not grieving. You're not dating these people. You're not grieving. You're not going to let them bring you any grief. The message is you can't bring your grief here, right? They want to come in and date, and you're like, nah, no thanks. I'm going to go sit on the beach and have, you know, this fancy drink here with this little fancy coffee with this little fancy, you know how they do with the creamer or the little foam? They make those pretty little leaves or whatever. Yeah, get some of that. Go sit out under a palm tree or something on the beach, bright early in the morning. Got the sun here. So there's a rebirth for the apple that they were not supposed to eat. They did anyway. The rib, the creation, the clone of Adam's rib. He preferred that as a wife over the one that God gave him. His equal, his match. His pride got a hold of him, and he decided making love to a freaking clone of himself was better. So there's a divorce. You're divorcing the narcissist because they refused to settle down and be responsible. They were horse playing around with everybody's life, and they weren't doing anything to actually improve their own demeanor. They just wanted to piss all over the world. They wanted to harvest the whole world. It could be that they're going to be harvested. They refused to settle down. They were horse playing around. You're divorcing the narcissist. They're being harvested. They're being harvested off the planet. They're being harvested off the planet. You're never going to have to deal with these people anymore. They will never get back. The divine stated, never give it back. You will never give it back. They can't curse your land, business, or your love. I don't think they can. The only person who can curse that is you. But I think after everything that y'all been through, and now that you're coming back together with an understanding of what has occurred here, I think that you're going to be, you know, patient with each other. We want to give you peace. We want to give you peace. Working together can bring a great reward. There's a harvest. Sharing a commitment to a cause, especially one that might seem a little corny to an outlander, can really bring a group of people together. Sure, the temptation to demonstrate that you are the truest believer can turn to blood sport with a cutthroat response to those of shaky faith. But if the harvest is good, it can be worth all the effort. So there's a harvest. These people who had been harvesting the star, the rose, are getting harvested. You're divorcing the narcissist, these third-party cornholio jackos, and they're Jezebel copycats. They're going away. They're going to the other side, and they're the new fodder. According to the divine, they are the new fodder. Family, dreams, family. So that family, that old family, you're not dealing with them anymore. They're on fire. Look what God's doing to them. He's standing right there, and he's like, burn, baby, burn. Your old family is out of here, man. They're shocked. Your protector, your new match, your proper match that Most High God has matched you with is not letting you go. And isn't that just wonderful? We got reconciliation. That's wonderful. That makes my heart so happy. It makes my tummy feel all warm. You got the Ace of Pentacles abundance, and this trashy little rat is told to move on because you are the martyr of the earth. You were the one that was martyred, and you came to life, and you're shining a light on the hidden truth. What they were vampiring love and doing genetic experiments on humanity. This family. Interesting. They are now the new fodder. Yeah, they're trying to get into people's dreams. They may be having nightmares. Nobody wants to take the phone call anymore. They're screaming, help me, help me. You know, they're being like they're getting attacked by the boogeyman in their dreams and stuff. And nobody wants to take the call. Nobody wants to be around them. Their mind is broken. They're obsessed by you and everything. And so they're being removed by nature. Because who they are and what they've done here is all lies. It's all lies. It's a fabricated circumstance that they were filming and then broadcasting. The lifetime story of Earth Woman. Here's your new episode. Yeah, it was all orchestrated. And their celebration, you know, the pregnancies that turned into sacrifices, that turned into, you know, drama, you know, love you, hate you kind of scenarios. A celebration turning into a nightmare. That was your experience here of the trickster devil. And now they're being harvested. The midnight goblins are being harvested by the cat. And their boat is not big enough for these seas. It's just not. It's just not. This has been going on for centuries, you know, and I think they kind of got lazy and maybe didn't pay attention to the details like they once did, because they just got into party mode, F-fest party mode, and they didn't take it as seriously as maybe they should have. Or maybe you just really are bound and determined. Or maybe God is bound and determined, you know, to empower you to pull through and to manage this. You know, God sees the work of this rose, this sacrificed beauty. God sees the hidden truth that you have brought forward by surviving. You were innocent. They did all of this to you, and you were perfectly freaking innocent. You were here to help them. They ate the freaking apple that they were not supposed to eat, and you're going to get a rebirth because God said so. And these narcissists, third-party cornholio bro-hos, they're going away. They're going to the other side because they have the value of dead men. They're not actual husbands or fathers or leaders. They're manipulators, connivers, and thieves, and red rummers. They're professionals. They do the forbidden. You know, they have children just so that they can eat them or whatever. Some of them do. These baby souls. Now, please remember that this is story time. It's a collective planetary story. It's not going to apply to everybody. You don't have to believe the story if you don't want to. It's just what I'm picking up on. It is what it is. It helps me process. And I share these stories because I'm hoping that maybe it'll help you process. But I'm certainly not trying to influence anybody's mind or heart or, you know, anything. This is me making sense out of my own journey. And I'm kind of sharing that with the people, hoping that maybe it'll help them also. That's it. So you're the star. You're made a miraculous recovery. You're shining brightly. You've got this beautiful golden light. Everything you touch turns to gold. And you've shined a light on this hidden truth. You are the hidden truth. You were this buried treasure under this water here. You're getting a honeymoon. You're getting married. This is the end of your hardship. It's forbidden to feed on you. It's forbidden to come anywhere near you. This is the end of your hardship. Yeah, you're going to be fake busy pretty soon. You're going to be working out of the gym, going and taking a pottery class. Nine of Pentacles, life of luxury. You're getting a dream come true, fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, because these guys kept driving you and puppeting you into conflict. It was not, look, because they wanted to feed on the energy of this star under duress. They wanted to feed on the energy of the star while it was under duress, because they're low vibrational and they can't eat you, you know, when you're shining brightly. They have to flip you into south node because you're just too powerful. You shined a light on it. Hello, look at the puppet master doing the forbidden, eating the apple, sacrificing the rose. This narcissist who is out there lecturing people on responsibility as they sex traffic every pure thing in the world. You know, as they poison all of the waters of the planet or drain the underground aquifers of it, their water. And where are they taking all the water? That's what I want to know. Trump says there's unlimited water. Where are they taking the water? I want to know that. When they were talking about the McDonald's, telling them they had unlimited water, I want to know where the water's going. We've got left you hanging, and it came out in the reverse. So Nine of Pentacles, life of luxury, you're getting you're getting a miracle. A miracle, dreams come true. You're going to get what you want, fire sign, because they were driving you into conflict. It was never a decision that you wanted. They kept pushing you, prodding you, poking you, hunger. They wanted to eat this upset, this energy, and that's an end. There's an end to that. There is closure. There's closure on them doing this. So yeah, because they were Five of Wandsing you, and there's an understanding regarding this. So there is a repair in this union. You know, you've learned a lot, and more importantly, I think maybe it could have taught a lot about researching, verifying, researching, verifying over and over again, just to clarify, triple clarify, over and over, clarify that you know exactly what's going on here, because these guys are extremely good illusionists. So they were fighting with you, creating conflict, being all petty. Now we got health issues arising for these men and their cornholio tripod thing, wanting to fight with you. They're not gaining your status of importance. Somebody in the ice or somebody is there, and they're really mad. They don't know what it is. Whatever these people have been working for, it's mad. They have lost their home here. And they can't feed on the stars anymore. The stars or the suns. They cannot feed on you anymore. This is the end of their relationship with batteries. The Most High God stated it. And I just love how, you know, these upper dimensional beings, they're not stressed. They don't appear to be stressed at all. It's like they're definitely seeing things from macro level. It's so amazing how calm they are. Drinking. They're drinking. Somebody's real mad. They're out there drinking. They're living a toxic lifestyle. They're drinking. Somebody is so mad. They could be mad at this competition's lifestyle. They think that maybe they, you know, they got too high, they got too drunk, they had too much sex, I don't know, they did something, but it's their boss, whoever their boss is, that has been living it up and having a snack fest here on the earth, on humanity for a long time. They're mad. They're mad about this toxic lifestyle. They lost all their money. They're in a 5 of Pentacles due to your commitment, your pledge, and not letting go of each other. This tribe is in South Node, or this tribe is in South Node. They've been flipped on their head. They've been evicted out of North Node. They've been evicted out of your house. They stole your house. They stole everything. And they're in shock. Because you're turning your back on them. There's nothing, I heard a feminine say, there's nothing I can do for you. And there isn't. You know, they decided to genetically modify people. You know, they decided to freaking genetically splice themselves right out of God's kingdom. And that's not your problem. You know, I heard the curator say that you are the antidote to their genetic screw up. And it's not your problem. They bred themselves right out of the kingdom, and that is not your problem. So they're in a tower for leaving you alone. Everything they did to you is going back, and we've got the neighbors here, and I can't remember what was neighbors? Neighbors was, this is really happening. This is no dream. This is really happening. This is no dream. They're going to be isolated. They got to go deal with chaos all by themselves. And everything they did to you is going back on them. This is not a dream. It's really happening. They got to go deal with lifetimes of torturous suffering. No strings. They didn't want any strings. They're not getting any strings. Absolutely not. There's no strings. No strings attached. This tribe is turned into the South Node. They're getting evicted out of the territory. They're shocked. You're turning your back on them. They've burned you at the stake many, many times. They didn't give a crap. And you know, there's so many other ways to die, but they burned you many times. That was the most recent thing. I don't know how many other ways they did it. I mean, I know I drowned. I know I've been stabbed numerous times. But apparently I've been burned many times too. They didn't want any strings. They're not getting any strings. You're getting an Ace of Pentacles, an abundance, and a new job, a new opportunity. This trash, this little worthless rat, they're being told to move on by the martyr of Earth because of what they were doing to love with their genetic experiments and their hate. You are fed up. You see their true colors. Fed up, you see their true colors. Move on by the martyr. They're not covered by the sacrifice. They're not covered by the one who broke the curses, who broke the curse. The rose has persevered. You did a lot of good work there, Rose, to shine so brightly and let the Most High God witness your shine. He's like, what's that shiny spot down there in that deep hellhole? What is that? Oh! And then there you are. Reaching out. Hello, daughter. Hello. This water sign is being haunted. They cursed their whole damn self. All of those curses that they did on you are on them right now. And it's heavy. It's a heavy burden. There's been centuries of this stuff going on, man. 24/7. This was their job, is to curse you. Now they got centuries of curses that are coming back on them. Backstab. Yeah. And because, so, and this came out, but when it hit the ground, it came out in the reverse. This says backstab. So they curse themselves. They're not able to backstab you anymore. There will be no more backstabbing the rose, the water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces is being haunted right now. They cursed themselves with this mirror magic. And they can't backstab you. They can't play mind games with you anymore. All of those curses, you see their true colors and you're fed up. That's it. So we got Seven of Swords, trickery and fraud. They're in with the lawyer, the judge, and the police. The scales are being balanced. We've got someone else. These are the third-party enemies. I'm specifically talking about two men who came in and then grabbed a Jezebel who had probably been driven into this particular mindset for this particular circumstance, whatever. They really enjoyed coming after the stars and the suns and sacrificing them and living a life of luxury that in a beautiful place that they had no right being in because they were so low vibrational. They belong on the other side, and that's where they're going. So they're getting disconnected and they're going to the other side. They're going to the other side. They're going to get sucked into their own curses. They're going to get sucked into their own misery that they wanted for you. This thug, the thug is going to the other side. I don't know. It could be that somebody's going to, yeah, they're in the lawyer's office right now. Someone else, they were sabotaging you. Now they sabotage themselves. They're all getting disconnected, going to the other side. They're a thug. You got the Chariot here, a victory. It's time for you to rest. You get a new beginning. No, it's not the right time for date night. You're getting the message. There's a messenger. So we got, there's no grief. These pet cemetery people aren't able to bring you grief any longer. Maybe the messenger has said you're done dealing with grief from these dead people or these people who have the value of dead men. Could be that there's a messenger that has given this thug a message that you're not grieving. Or these dead, these pet cemetery people, these living dead or whatever, they're not able to bring you any more grief. They're under pressure. They're under pressure. Anxiety. Time is running out. And then we've got living in the moment. They could be remembering. They might be living in the moment. Like, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. You're getting a new beginning, and you're not dating right now because you know that these three-party enemies are being evicted, and you're not gonna risk your energy, your beautiful energy, and your life of luxury. There's just no reason to, because you've got this coming to you. You've got this, your commitment. There's a commitment. Your protector is committed, and they're not letting you go. These people will not obtain you. Nope. They're under pressure. Oh my gosh. Closing the cycle. Closing the freaking cycle of these narcissists eating the freaking apple. I'm not even freaking kidding. Look, man. Narcissist harvesting, eating the apple. They were not supposed to do that. You're closing this cycle on this crap. You're divorcing this jackwagon who's been horse playing around, unwilling to settle down and be responsible with you. They just wanted to feed on you. Your sweet, precious fruit. They wanted to harvest you. And this is done. You're closing the cycle where these people were consuming you. They are the new fodder. They will be the ones that experience what it was like to be burned at the stake. They will be the ones to experience what it's like to have somebody suck the life out of them while driving them into conflict. They're going to have to do it alone without anybody to support them, kiss their boo-boos or wrap up their broken arm or whatever. You're going to get a wish come true is what you're getting. Yeah, and the fact that you illuminated the truth has got this spiritual trickster spinning a fairy tale in an ego deck. You know, it's like somebody's been out here pretending to be something they're not. They've been casting illusions. You know, they've been coming up saying, I love you, trying to get a marriage just so that they can get on your life path, on your destiny. And there is a goodbye. There's goodbye. Because it's time for these twin flames to have their romance. These people who were sweet talking you, not being serious, or maybe there's a firestorm because it's ending. This sweet talk, this frivolous, union, this reckless sex, this getting together with no strings attached. No strings attached. They didn't want it. They didn't want it. They're having a mental breakdown. Shocking news. Shocking news. Somebody may pop the question. And those with a sex addiction are having massive regrets. They're praying and drinking to cope. Somebody may have passed away. They may be trying to keep it a secret. They're effed up over you. This Jezebel is effed up over you. Because they're detached from their spiritual gifts for being a jackass. I woke up this morning to a woman asking the curator why she wasn't shining. It's because she's lost her spiritual gifts for being a jackass. They were getting readings on you. So there's a karmic lesson here. Divine masculine. They're having a heartbreak over divine masculine. Divorcing them. They're sending them love messages. I miss you. Maybe he's thinking about family. He's free. He's free to reconcile with his true. And this person is not happy. They're feeling like shit. They're losing sleep. That's really bad news. They're running away because they're trapped and they're ashamed. So you're closing the cycle on them consuming the apple, on this Jezebel copycat, consuming the apple and then wearing that energy and presenting themselves as the... So that's it. That's it. We're at an hour and 28 minutes. I think I'm going to go ahead and leave that where it's at. I think that it tells a pretty good story. I hope that this clarifies something that you already intuitively knew. And I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.